So, news broke that the Snyder Cut of Justice League will be coming to HBO Max in 2021. What do I think about it? Are you kidding me? People were harassed. People were abused who worked for Warner Brothers and DC because a cut of a superhero film that was 4 years too late, 5 years too late, came out and kind of sucked. And then everyone's hyping this up like, Zack Snyder's a genius. Oh, this is going to be the best movie ever made. This movie's only 3 years old. They're going to have to put $20 million or $30 million to finish the effects. So it's going to take a while. And honestly, it's still probably going to suck. Do I like the DC extended universe? Mostly. Actually, I think I enjoy all the films for one reason or another. Are they good? Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are great. I think the latter ones are great. Some of them are guilty pleasures, and some of them I can enjoy. Like as a time waster. But this hype around Justice League, the idea of the Snyder Cut, like it's going to be this revolutionary, groundbreaking movie. I don't get it. I don't get why people hype Zack Snyder and act like the guy is on par with Stanley Kubrick or something like that. Zack Snyder makes visually appealing movies. The man can do visual stories well enough. But if I were to compare him to, say, Robert Rodriguez, I would say he does it far better. Despite Robert Rodriguez making some shitty movies as well, I think that Snyder has this weird cult around him where they would act like it was all the studio's fault. And did the studio interfere with Justice League? Of course they did. But you gotta stop acting like the Snyder Cut is gonna change cinema or superhero cinema significantly enough like Endgame or the Marvel Cinematic Universe in its entirety. Because it's not. The Snyder Cut, I think, is going to be an interesting film that could also suck or might be worse than what we got in cinema, or could be a pretty decent film. If I'm going to be blunt as hell, if people think Justice League is going to be up there with Citizen Kane, The Godfather, Taxi Driver, or hell, even the original Spider-Man 2, and I'm saying the original Spider-Man 2 is one of my all-time favorite films, then I think you need to lower your expectations significantly. I don't think Snyder is as competent a filmmaker as people make him out to be. Does Snyder know what he's doing? Does Snyder know what he's doing? Sometimes I think he does. Other times I think he misses the point of what he's trying to adapt. Or he's trying to do something that he doesn't have the capacity to do well. I think his idea of trying to make Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League a trilogy is an interesting concept, but I think the biggest problem is it doesn't flow as narratively consistent as it should if you're going to do it in that route. If you're going to go in that route, I mean. I apologize for misspeaking. I'm just rambling right now. Basically, what I'm saying is, this isn't like we got the original theatrical cuts of Star Wars with a 4K remaster or an 8K remastering. Okay, this is a mediocre superhero movie that is gonna get another cut. What I think angers me about the Snyder Cut, the concept of it, is not the cut itself. I think Yes, I would like to see another cut of Justice League if one exists, or clearly one does exist. I want to see if it's better than what we got. Could it be? Yes. Could it be worse? Yes. Sometimes director's cuts are not as good as the theatrical cuts of the film. Look at the Star Wars trilogy. George Lucas tinkered with that like a madman, and the alternate cuts of the Star Wars trilogy are far worse than the theatrical cuts of the Star Wars trilogy. I just don't understand it. I do not understand this extreme hype, this mythologized version of this alternate cut of Justice League. Was it shitty what happened behind the scenes? Yeah. Does that mean this is gonna be a great movie? I don't know. But I think people gotta chill. If a hypothetical cut of another movie exists, don't harass the shit out of people. Create fan campaigns, but don't be a dick about it. And don't harass people. Like the social media people who are running the Warner Brothers Twitter account, or the DC's Twitter account, or the Superman Twitter account. Because they're just people trying to do a job, get a paycheck, and go home. On that note, Snyder Cut's been released. Fingers crossed, hoping it's a decent enough film. To conclude with, stop acting like the Snyder Cut of Justice League is going to be like the second coming of Christ when it comes to movies. That's all I'm saying.